Hi, I'm Katie George and I play for England Women, Welsh Fire and Western Storm. Um, this year is an exciting one and the challenge I'm looking to do is to get back from injury, hit the ground running and hopefully take a leading role in 100.
Nice, exciting. And if you could say one female that's really inspired you in cricket or in life, who would you say it was? It doesn't have to be one, it
Um,
could be more than one.
I'd probably say two. One's probably quite hard. There's some inspirational people out there. But I'd say Charlotte Edwards was certainly someone sort of when I was much younger, sort of looked up to and sort of made me realise how much women's cricket could achieve. And then Catherine Brunt, as I sort of took a keener
And
interest.
obviously, you've had an opportunity to play alongside Catherine Brunt. What was that like? The first time, were you a bit starstruck?
A little bit, I think. The way it happened, it all happened quite quickly. So I sort of went from training with them to suddenly playing with them in the matter of probably 4 months. And I hadn't had too much to do with everyone before then. So it was really exciting. I was a little bit in awe of everyone, to be honest. There was still some great names sort of from the almost before era that still around. A few of them are retired now, and Catherine's probably sort of the last one from them, if she doesn't mind me saying. She probably thinks that sounds really old. But yeah, it was amazing to sort of see how she goes about her business and sort of almost, I think our personalities are quite similar in some ways. So to sort of, it's not a bad person to sort of learn from.
Yeah, and she is a bit of a legend of the game, really, isn't she? Every time someone says something like, "Oh, maybe she'll think about retiring," she just comes out with this proper gun performance, as if she's like, "What was that? The R
Yeah,
word? No,
yeah.
got none
I,
of
don't-
that."
I think that motivates her in a way. I think she's still got a lot to give personally. I don't see her slowing down anytime soon. I think it'll be the body that maybe says maybe soon. But no, I think she's got a while to go just yet.
So, obviously, you're playing in 100 this year. What do you think is going to be the most exciting part about that? Is it because obviously it's quite gender equal? First game is
Yeah.
a women's game. Do you think that's going to be quite a big aspect of it, or are you just looking forward to getting back on the pitch and getting crowds in if possible?
I don't think you can ignore that it's the sort of the first game is the women. We've actually started, we were the first people to overrun bowl, for example. So it's not unheard of, but I think on this stage, with so many people watching, tuning in, reading about it on Twitter, whatever it is, I think it's massive for the women's game in general for the women to be starting. Just this new growing up, I struggle to remember watching women's cricket and being able to on TV. So to sort of be on TV and to get that exposure, people that are young and they may have a little bit of an interest in cricket, not too sure, they turn the channel or their dad's watching it, their mum's watching it, and it's on. They get exposure. They go, "Oh, this looks quite cool. Mum, dad, what's this?" Or and they go, "Oh, like the weather's nice. Let's go outside. You only need a ball." So I think it's great.
And it's one of those things you hope that kids growing up now look at people like you and Catherine Brunt, and you've got your Nat Sivers, your Nutmegs, your Tammy Beaumonts, and you want those kids coming through and talking about them as their role models instead of just your Jimmy Andersons, your Alistair Cooks, your Steve Smiths, because.
Absolutely. I think you saw that Sophie Devine, there was sort of a big piece that came out of that. And I think it's happening more and more. I think also like they're a top bunch of girls as well. They all care. They all want to sort of be role models and sort of be there to help and guide. And I think that's really important to sort of take that role.
And that's something I think the ECB has been really good at keeping the support for the women's game during the last year, hasn't it? Like we had the Rachel Haypo Flint seem to just be organised out of nowhere, really. It was like, right, we need to get this women's sport back on. And then it was such top quality cricket in the end. It was a pretty good example of just how far the women's game's come in the last few years.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, to be honest with you. For the ECB to sort of, show how much they value the women's game and how much they want to put into it. I think the Rachel Hayho Flint Trophy symbolised that. It was a massive success, and that was, they drew that up very quickly. There wasn't much time to plan. For it to be that good that first year, I'm really excited to see how it grows each year. And there's already more games this year. So yeah, very good.
Never good. So obviously, looking at the Ashes, are you hoping to book your place on that plane Is that what your eye is on, or is it all about just getting back on any kind of pitch at first?
A little bit of both. I've got to be on the pitch to be playing cricket, to sort of put my hand up and sort of be in the hat. But I mean, personally for me, Ashes, red ball cricket is the pinnacle. That's what I grew up wanting to play. So to be able, and I really like the format of having the T20s, the 50 over and the point system, because every game matters. So yeah, so I do have one eye on that, but I know that I need to do the bits before, and sort of especially in the 100, that's what I'm targeting, to sort of have a really strong showing. And then there's the Pakistan series, sort of back end, sort of October, I believe it is. So I think that'd be a good sort of squad to look to get into. I think the back end of the summer might be a little bit soon, if I'm being realistic. So look for Pakistan for England squad, and then have a strong winter, hopefully, before Christmas, and then hopefully I've done enough.
And so with that Ashes series, obviously there's a test match. How do you feel about the idea of being able to put on the whites instead of the short format coloured kit? Is that quite exciting?
Just hearing you say it, that genuinely really excites me. Yeah, I just smile thinking about it. Having that red ball in my hand, hopefully opening the bowling, maybe first change with Catherine and Anya, but it'll still be swinging.
Bowling, maybe take a hat trick, maybe just a cheeky five for just get Elise Perry out first ball.
Oh, if we get Perry out, we'll be halfway to winning.
Oh, and then I'll just open the batting because I'm in a good mood at the time.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That's the plan, isn't it? So I'm just
why not?
But aim high.
Yeah.
And then if you had a piece of advice that you would give to some, like a youngster coming through in the sport, because obviously you came into it really young and made your debut at 18, and I think at 18, I mean, I was playing a lot of sport, but I definitely wasn't making an England cricket debut, which is pretty cool. What's the kind of thing you would say to the youngsters coming now?
I'd say you've got a little bit more time than you think. I know sort of growing up, everything's the end of the world. You know, you bowl bad over, you're like, oh no. Or you get an injury and you think it's, you know, that's you're never going to play again. But it's not. You have to work hard, because like there's that old chestnut, talent's not enough. And it's true. I've seen people that I've grown up playing with, they've come through the academy, they were probably better than me, yeah, especially batting. But then they sort of just fade away. And I think that's just, you know, you've got to want it. And when it's, you know, maybe when you want to go and see your friends, or, you know, there's a party or whatever it is, sometimes you've just got to go down to the cricket nets because you know that's the best thing for you. And then that session will help you with that game in 5 days' time. I think, I mean, that's it worked for me. I did probably make a few sort of hard choices growing up. There's lots of distractions, but I think I was just so focused on it, probably stressed my parents out a little bit with not concentrating on school as much as I probably should have. But I was just, I knew that's what I wanted to do, and I was just prepared to sort of do everything possible to make that happen.
And what's Heather Knight like as a captain?
I think she's grand. I hear stories that she was a little bit of a prankster when she was younger. So it's interesting. I haven't seen too much. Maybe I'll see a bit of the Western.
Well, you hear the same about Joe Root, don't you? Because he was.
Yeah, you do.
Then...
but no, I think Heather's brilliant. I think she's very proactive as a captain, which I personally think is a very good thing. And yeah, I think she carries the team really well. There's a lot of talk about sort of, you know, how you act, everyone will follow, and I think she leads from the front.